Hi guys, I'm back. My last video, I did a quick unboxing of the Flair Smart Vent. Was pretty happy when I received them the other day. I did a bunch of installations yesterday. I've deliberately saved one just to show you kind of how it installs from a hardware perspective and how it goes in. Thought I'd show you that really quick. Adding it to the application, there's already videos on their website and they're pretty self-explanatory. I found it very easy to integrate everything together. So I don't really feel a need to do a review on that. It's fairly straightforward as long as you follow the videos that they have already. But I thought I'd show you this really quickly just so you have a sense of kind of how the hardware gets installed. From start to finish, you can kind of see how long it's going to take me here. Granted, the first one did take a little bit longer because you kind of got to work your way through it, and now I've done, I don't know, 10 of them. So it's a little bit easier for me now. But nonetheless, here we go. So this is kind of the vent. As you would have seen in my last video. Really, the only steps you need to do are take it all out of the packaging, and then you add the battery into it and put it into place. There's really not much to it. It's the back battery cover here. Kind of clips into place as a little thing for power. You put that in. Screws here. So there's two larger screws, so if you're putting it into a wall, you need to use those. In this particular instance, I'm just putting it in my bathroom, so we won't need those larger ones. But there's also two small ones that are used for the rear battery cover, the bottom battery cover, whatever you want to call it. These guys right here, if you can see them. Into place. Use the screwdriver that they provide, which works with all of their screws, I think. Okay, that's how it's done. Flip it over. You gotta take off the, there's a couple screws here. You need to take off this grate cover. Again, there is a video on how to do this on the Flair website. I just thought I'd show you from a timing perspective so you had a sense of how long it might take you if you're doing, I mean, in my case, I have 12. So it took me a while to do it. It's not super quick, but it's not overly difficult or time consuming either. You kind of get in a flow once you're doing them. The only real hiccup I encountered, and it has nothing to do with Flair, is some of my baseboards were a different. I needed to trim the baseboard back. I have a couple in the walls downstairs in the basement. Those were really the only ones. Everything else, anything that just sat in the floor, went in no problem. Same with the ceiling. It was really just the odd. I have a couple odd sized ones, and I just needed to trim the area back. But again, it had nothing to do with the Flair vent itself. It was just kind of how my house was built. So batteries went in. This is the top cover. There's an arrow here, and as well as on the vent itself. You just line those up. When you press down on it, it's going to come alive. And then you just put there's already screws in here, so you just got to tighten those guys up. So that's all tightened up. Next step, put the vent cover back on. I put some of the vent covers on once the vent itself was in place. It's much easier to do before you do that, just to line up these little screw holes to put the cover back on. I find that if you do it before you put it into place, it's a little bit easier. We're going to go down the hall and actually put it into place. Here's the existing cover, and this guy literally just drops in. and we're all done. Hope you enjoyed my video. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a line. So far, so good. I installed these guys yesterday for the most part. I saved this one. Everything seems to be balancing in my house pretty quickly. The app's easy to use. No complaints so far. Have yourself a great day. And again, shoot me a line if you have any questions. Bye.